Ugh, this thing is so heavy. Daggerheart. Look at how gorgeous this is. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. Just kidding. Don't want to get hit with copyright. Here she is, the limited edition. Gorgeous. This will be our inspiration for our makeup today. Let's get into it. Hi friends, Betty Rage here, your favorite nerdy goth mom. And this emotional support show is Lashes and Lore, where we smear eyeliner and unpack fantasy trauma. Today, we're doing something a little different. For the first time, I'm gonna do something that's not Dungeons and Dragons. Gasp! We're diving into a brand new world, a post-D&D world, if you will. A world with big feelings, terrifying gods, and more emotional baggage than your last relationship. Welcome to Daggerheart. And no, it's not just some moody name that your original character created in high school. It's the brand new TTRPG from Darrington Press, which is also known as the game design brainchild of Critical Role. Also known as your favorite voice actors decided to break your heart, wreck it upside down again and again and again with dice. So we're unpacking the divine mess, chaotic nature spirits, and world-shaping player drama that makes this setting slap harder than a level 20 monk. So stick around to find out why I think Daggerheart just hits different. Oh, and if you're wondering what I'll be smearing all over my face today while we discuss big feelings and bigger drama, the makeup breakdown is in the description below. Because if I am going to be crying about divine trauma, I better look absolutely flawless doing it. Also, these giant freaking clips, they're amazing. I have so much hair. Big boys. I will link them as well. I'm not sponsored by any of this shit. I just do it because I love it. Okay, Daggerheart. Daggerheart is not your grandmother's TTRPG. This isn't just D&D with new dice. This is Darrington Press ripping up the emotional rulebook, setting it on fire, and then saying, here, cry together. It's a high fantasy setting made for messy people who like their characters full of angst and their campaigns full of hope. And it all starts with a big old blank slate world where gods are either missing, fighting, or maybe just being petty. Probably the latter. You know, gods be goddin'. Does that sound familiar? Well, welcome to the core tension of this game. Faith versus doubt. Hope versus despair. And divine abandonment versus, I guess I'll just fix it myself. This setting, it's not just about epic heroes saving the day with plot armor. It's about regular disasters, like you and me, choosing to be better, even if their world is broken. It's vibes. It's therapy. It's swords and feelings. The name Daggerheart literally means to wound and to feel. And I'm not making that up. So try to tell me that this isn't a goth's dream setting. All right, so let's just get into the divine nature of the game in a section that I've named The Gods Have Left the Group Chat. Because no good fantasy world is complete without deities who ruin everything and then leave you unread. In Daggerheart, the gods didn't just abandon their worshippers, they straight up broke the world. Think like shattered pantheon energy, divine civil wars. It's real mom and dad fought and now the sun doesn't rise kind of vibes. And you know, some gods vanished, some fell, others, well, they're still poking around, but now the mortals are left piecing together faith from divine wreckage. Shrines are rare, belief is fragile, and everyone has religious trauma. But who doesn't? Am I right? JK, maybe. This isn't therapy. And then there's the Divine Gate, a mysterious veil that cuts off mortals from the divine. Unless you're a cleric or a champion and the vibes are just right. But even then, don't expect answers. The gods are quiet, inconsistent, and possibly very petty. So to throw in a player tip here, do you want to play a divine class in Daggerheart? Lean into the mystery. Don't just ask, what does my god want? Ask, what happens when they don't answer? Because in this world, faith is a choice, and that's where the drama really lives. All right, my darlings, let's talk frames. And no, I don't mean like glasses or photos. I mean the narrative kind. Daggerheart gives you campaign frames instead of a rigid lore. They're like vibes first world building guides. It's designed to help GMs and players co-create. Yeah, so players get to pull their weight, but also what's a better way to make sure that everyone at the table is incredibly invested in the game, in the story that they're telling, than to incorporate their ideas on what shapes the world. Genius. So here are 3 that I picked out to share with you. I'm not even going to say my top 3 or my favorite 3 because I haven't played in all of these frames. I just like the idea of these 3. Up first, the Age of Umbra. Welcome to the Cosmic Horror Sad Boy Hour. The sky is cracked. The gods, they've ghosted us. And every shadow feels like it's watching you. Age of Umbra is Daggerheart's answer to Elden Ring and Dark Souls. A bleak, grimdark world where silence is deafening. And monsters don't just lurk, they organize. Prophecies read more like death threats. Faith is unraveling faster than your last coping mechanism. And your only solace might just be the sword that you pulled from a corpse. It's the perfect setting for the Daggerheart mini campaign on Critical Role, if you're emotionally stable enough to survive it. Spoiler, you're not. None of us are. But we will torture ourselves by watching it anyway. The next campaign frame that I'll touch on is Colossus of the Drylands. And we'll stick to our video game theme here because imagine Red Dead Redemption rode into Shadow of Colossus, then crashed headfirst into a pile of ancient magical tech. The landscape? Well, bleached bones of dead titans. The vibe? Cowboy archaeologist with trust issues. Here you get to wander a haunted wasteland that's unraveling secrets that no one asked to remember. Chased by cults, ghosts, and the occasional malfunctioning god machine. So, hope you brought your emotional support horse, potentially a grudge or 2. And then we have the Witherwild, where nature is mad, and she is not sending flowers. So welcome to Fanewick, where the world has been absolutely overtaken by the bloom. What's the bloom, you say? Well, it is a chaotic overgrowth, pulsing with magic, mystery, and very real murder potential. Think Princess Mononoke meets The Legend of Zelda, but you are a confused villager who touched the wrong mushroom. Spirits are raging. Fae energy is off the charts. And the plants here, they don't just want sunlight. Well, they want vengeance. So, in essence, the Witherwild, it's a cursed forest frame with toxic vine energy, emotional damage, and the constant vibe of, you are not supposed to be here. And I think I said I was only doing 3, but it's actually 4 because we can't move on without talking about the Motherboard. Because welcome to the future, babe, where spellbooks have USB ports and your cleric might just be powered by the Motherboard. This sci-fi frame, where magic meets machine, has merged into one glitchy, glorious mess. Think Horizon Zero Dawn ancient tech vibes meets Mortal Engines wheeled cities, and then got possessed by a rogue AI who thinks it's a god. The ruins all hum with arcane energy. Mechanical beasts prowl the wasteland, and somewhere out there, I just had a 5 Goes West moment. Anyways, and somewhere out there, an entire cathedral runs on quantum code. It's sleek and it's spooky, and absolutely everything is watching you. So, update your firmware, say a prayer to the sacred algorithm, because you're going to need both. Because these aren't just backdrops, they shape your tone. They give your table questions like, what if the world broke and you still chose to believe in it? And if you plan to run a Daggerheart game as the game master, these frames, they're your playground. I say mix them, mutate them, and let your players shape the lore right alongside you, because that's literally what Daggerheart wants. That. And we have to talk about the ancestries. Daggerheart's ancestries are not just skin deep, they are narrative core material. Each one comes with built-in drama and a crisis or two. And here are the juiciest ones that I plucked just for you. First up, we have the Clank. You know how some people say that they have a heart of gold? Clanks literally might. These sentient machines were built with vibes, voltage, and probably some weird creator backstory. So whether they look like humanoids, animals, or cursed steampunk furniture, Clanks are full of purpose and existential dread. They do get bonus experience power-ups and can sub out rest mechanics like they're switching out batteries. So they're basically what happens when you give a Roomba some feelings and a battle axe. And I love it. Then we have Draconon. Imagine a dragon walked into a job interview. They put on pants and decided not to fly. That's a Draconon. No wings. All scales, and with teeth that just don't quit. They do have a inherited elemental breath, but that's just there so that you can say it's genetic when you torch a bandit. And they are built to take a hit without flinching. Dragonborn could never. These beauties are part tank, part magic cannon, and 100% intimidation. And of course, we can't forget the Fungrils. I mean, the Fungril. The mushroom people, sentient, spore-connected, memory-extracting mushroom people. They range from pocket-sized to who let that sentient toadstool on the bus. And they communicate via a mycelial network, like a creepy fungal Wi-Fi. Touch a corpse? Boom! Emotional flashback. Want to whisper across distances? Just plug into the dirt work, babe. Dirt network. No? Okay. We'll move on. They are weird. They are wonderful. And they probably smell like petrichor and secrets. Petrichor is the word used for the pleasant smell that usually comes along with the first rain after it's been really dry and hot for a long time. You know the one. Well, at least the millennials know what I'm talking about. And then we have the Inferis, descended from demons. These devilishly dramatic folks have fangs, horns, and quite honestly enough trauma to fill an entire therapy spellbook. Don't underestimate them. They can weaponize their fear, literally, and they can intimidate their way through most situations. So, if you have a character who looks like a villain but cries during sunsets, Inferis might just be your aesthetic. Think sleep token warlock energy, but with actual plot armor. Side note, I absolutely love Sleep Token, and my neurodivergent brain won't let me stop listening to their latest album. Okay, moving on. Last but not least, fairies. Fairies is bugs. Shout out to my Daggerheart playing table. Fairies is bugs. Anyhow, these are your glitter-winged chaos goblins. But don't let the sparkles fool you. They go through metamorphosis like magical angst butterflies. Fairies is bugs. And they have a lifespan shorter than your last D&D campaign. But they can rewrite fate once per session. They can fly and they juke attacks like they're dodging their ex at a party. They have just enough trickster energy to make everything weird and slightly flirty. So we love the fairies. And a tip for the players, don't talk with powder flying around you. Anyway, and a tip for players, don't just pick a cool ancestry. Pick the emotional damage that comes with it, because that's the fun part. You're not here to optimize. You're here to spiral. Narratively, of course. All right, so let's talk some classes in Daggerheart. Aren't just power sets. They are ideologies. They're about how your character survives in a broken world. First up, Seraph. Oh, look, a literal angel with a flaming sword. and a trauma toolkit. All right, so the Seraph is what happens when your divine warrior also moonlights as your party's emotionally damaged therapist. They fight, they heal, they throw down celestial glow-ups and prayer dice like they're glitter bombs of holy vengeance. Think like a paladin, but with more radiance and less judgment, unless you really deserve it. And then we have rogues, these cloaked chaos gremlins. They're here to steal your heart and your coin purse. Rogues in Daggerheart aren't just sneaky, they're stylishly untraceable. You thought hidden was enough? No, babe. Now they're cloaked. You feel their blade before you even sense their sass. They hit hard, vanish harder, and drip main character energy like it's some kind of aesthetic choice. Then, of course, we have our druid. You know, those weird forest witches that talk to animals and have moss in their hair? Well, Daggerheart druids are them on mushrooms, emotionally enlightened and possibly shape-shifting into your sleep paralysis demon. Their connection to nature isn't just, I like flowers. No, it's, I will become the flower and I will ruin your day. Beast form? Yes. Vines? Absolutely. Untamed wrath of nature? Darling, that's the whole vibe. And then there's the bard. Not just for horny college bards anymore. In Daggerheart, the bards are agents of chaos and hope, and they are armed with charm, flair, and enough rally dice to emotionally manipulate your enemies and your party. So think Florence and the Machine if she dual-wielded maracas with eldritch gossip. They perform, they distract, they vibe check evil with interpretive dance and raw charisma. And lastly, I'll mention the sorcerer. You know that kid in school who set the curtains on fire with their mind, but still got an A? That's the sorcerer. Their power is raw, unfiltered, and fully unhinged. They don't just cast spells, they bend magic until it cries uncle. They sense spells, drop illusions like they're mixtapes, and get rerolls like they are gaming with the universe itself. They are the chaos engine. And for anyone out there building a character to play, your class isn't just your stats. It's your entire worldview. Do you trust faith, study, instinct, lies? That's your flavor. So marinate in it. So why does Daggerheart hit harder than an emo anthem in 2007? Because this game, it's not just asking you to save the world. It's asking you why you want to. It's not just fantasy, it's feelings. It's not just dungeons, it's doubt. It's built for chaos gremlins who roleplay like they are solving a moral Rubik's Cube with only emotional bandages and hope. Okay, so here is our final look. I think it turned out lovely. And the nod to the Daggerheart colors. Yay. This was my very first full lore deep dive on something that wasn't D&D. And honestly, I'm not sorry. Because Daggerheart is the kind of setting that gets it. It's raw, it's weird, and it's built for players like us. So go. Be weird. Be wounded. Pick up your dagger, open your heart, and maybe, just maybe, change the world. And if you're into lore dumps with eyeliner and existential dread, check out this next video here. I'm Betty Rage, your favorite nerdy goth mom. This is Lashes in Lore. Be good to each other, love each other, and as always, free mom hugs from me to you. Bye. I'll see you next time.